Hi guys, hi, how's it going? How are you doing today? Hopefully today finds you well. Today we are doing my project pan update for the month of November, and I am super excited to bring you some project pan information. I'm sure every single one of you at this point in time knows what project pan is, but I do a rolling project pan. So as I roll a product out, I roll another product in. There's always 10 or 11 products going in my collection in a project pan. This is my completion project pan, which means all items that I bring in here, I have a goal to finish, to empty the product. And with that being said, I hope that sounds like something you're interested in. For those of you who are new here, hi, my name is Donna. I'm a lover of all things high-end, colorful beauty and self-care. I also work in the beauty industry as a field leader for Ulta Beauty. I get a lot of education in my position. I want to bring you that education here on this channel, but ultimately, I'm just out here talking about makeup because I like to talk about makeup. And I'm assuming if you're here, you probably also dig talking about makeup. So I hope that you'll stick around because that's what we're going to do today. We're going to talk about some makeup. Let's just jump in. Let's dig into this. I am super excited about what I've got for this project pan. So we're just going to walk through the products that I have in this and we'll talk through it a little bit. Okay, first things first is this. This is the Zoeva Authentic Skin Natural Luminous Foundation, and this is where this product sat when I rolled it in. I did roll this in January, but I took it out in April. I took it out in April because it's very white, right? It is what's on my face today, and I feel like it goes. I might look a little bit ghastly, but I feel like it goes enough. In April, it was starting to get super warm, and I was starting to get tan in Eastern Washington, and it just was not the right color for me. So when I rolled it out, I swore I was going to roll it back in towards the winter months. It has been back in since September. And in September, when we rolled it back in, so when we rolled it in initially in January, it weighed 138 grams. In September, when we rolled it back in, it weighed 116 grams, 113 grams last update, and 112 grams today. So not a whole lot more usage, but I beg to differ because I was at the bottom of this orange line here last update, and now I'm at the bottom of this orange line here. I think that when I turn it this way, you can see the windowing right here. This legitimately, had I waited for one more week to do my update, this legitimately would be an empty today, but it's not, which is very, very sad for me. But with that said, I was focusing on a whole other product in this project pan, and I wanted to make sure that I got that finished by this update. So I wasn't heavily focusing on this. With that also said, I'm going out of town. I'm going to California. I'm flying on a plane. This will not be the foundation that I take with me because it's a glass bottle, and I try not to take glass bottles with me because they're heavy. So it won't be the foundation that I use. So even if I had waited a week, I still would not have this finished because I won't be here to utilize it for the next 4 days. So this will stay in the project, but it will be gone. Next update, it will be gone. And that makes me super happy. That will be like the 3rd or 4th foundation that I have finished this year. Granted, not every single one of those foundations was a foundation that I started this year, but it will be a foundation that I will have finished this year. The next thing I have here is the Tarte Make Believe in Yourself palette. This is a palette that I brought in also at the first of the year. The idea behind bringing this palette in is because I knew I could not commit to a pan that palette, but I did want to see this, one of the oldest palettes in my collection, get some use. And when I first rolled it in, it looked almost like it had never been used before, ever. So I am really happy with the progress that I have been able to make in this palette since rolling it in. When we rolled it in, it weighed 147 grams, and last month it weighed 145 grams. This month it's weighing 144. We can see the usage on the palette. I'm sure that you can also see the usage on the palette. Even this pan here has gotten considerably bigger. I have used it several more times as an eyeshadow, an inner corner, and as a nail polish. Since the last time we weighed this, we're only down 3 grams since the beginning of the year. That is a slow moving dude. That one will be in until the end of the year. I think I thought that at the end of the year I would declutter that, but I do think that I will probably continue to hold on to it. It's not a palette that is doing anything wrong, right? It doesn't bother my eyes. It's actually really pretty. So I will probably continue to hold on to it. The next product I have in here is the Dior Powder No Powder. This is also a product that's been in for a significant amount of time. It's been in since March 1st. When we brought it in, it weighed 66 grams of product, and it looked used. I had definitely used it, but it wasn't like looking all kinds of used. So, and it stayed at 66 grams product for like ever. Last month it weighed 62 grams, and this month it is weighing 60 grams. So this is what it is looking like currently. Tons of waffle pan in there, tons of waffle pan. And also some of that waffle pan is straight up like pan. So really excited about the usage on this product. Do I think it's going to be gone at the end of the year? Probably not, but I have been wearing this a lot as a bronzer because it just is that tone on me now. I don't know if it oxidized or what happened to it when I first brought it in. I swear it wasn't this orange, but it is straight up orange. So I've been using it a lot as a bronzer, and that's why it's getting all the use that it's getting. I don't think it'll be gone by the end of the year. That's definitely not going to be a product that finds itself emptied in my collection, but who knows. But I will hold on to it because it's okay. It's okay. I just might put it into my bronzer category instead of my powder category. The next product I have is the Pretty Vulgar Make Them Blush blush, and this is in the shade Hush Blush, and this was rolled in June. This came in at 45 grams, and it is a product that had been in my previous project pan. So the year before, I also had it in the project pan. So it saw a lot of use in that project pan. It went from, you know, a pretty decent blush to a panned blush. It had a pan in it, meaning this year the goal was to use it all up. I don't think that that'll happen still, but I am going to repress it. I think I want to get as much use out of it before repressing it, because I feel like if I repress it, then it's going to get crumbly and I'm going to lose some in repressing it. And I want this to be a true representation of how long it takes to get through a blush. But this is probably the oldest blush in my collection at this current point in time. Last month it weighed 42 grams. This month it's right back up to 43. So I don't know how that happens. You know, sometimes the scale decides that it wants to weigh differently, but I think that you guys can see there is a ton more, you know, pan in this than there was last month. So I'm not concerned. My scale maybe had an off day. You know, I wish my body scale would do the same thing, to be honest, only not go up, but go down. Make me feel good about myself, do whatever. But that's where we're at with that one. I do think that it will be gone by the end of the year, but I think it will be pushing being gone by the end of the year. So the next one I have is the Fenty Kilowatt Highlighter in Lightning Dust and Fire Crystal. And when I rolled this in, ultimately, my goal was to finish Fire Crystal because I already had a pan in it, and that is this one here. But as you guys can see, there's so much pan in this highlighter. And I feel like once I got the pan over here, like the pans just started expanding overall in both parts. And I love both of these highlighters. One of them's a little bit more subtle than the other one, but they're just so pretty. When we rolled it in June, it did have a mini pan on it, but it weighed 60 grams. Last month it weighed 59 grams, and this month it is still sitting at 59 grams. But I do think that you'll be able to see a ton more usage in this product. So again, I'm not concerned about the weight, so to speak, because I can see so much pan in these products. Then we have the ColourPop Lippy Stick. So this is what the ColourPop Lippy Stick is currently looking like. And you guys can see it is so small compared to what it was when we started. This is the one in the shade Beeper. It's one of my favorites. It's kind of an iconic nude knockoff. I love this pencil. I'm going to show you a picture of like just walking through what it has looked like through the entire process since rolling it in July. But it is a wonderful lip liner. It is what is on my lips today. I love this lip liner. I'll be very sad when it's gone. But honestly, I have so many lip liners that it's been a mission of mine to roll through as many lip liners as possible. I think this one will be the third one I have gone through this year, and that one will be gone by the end of the month. I don't know if you guys know, but the ColourPop Lippy pencils actually only have enough lead to like here. You'll see also on the document that I have it all mapped out, there is a big section that's like scribbled out between last month and this month's measurement, and it's because I was measuring it accidentally with the cap on, and so I needed to take the cap off in order to measure it accurately, and I'm certainly glad I did because the difference was monumental. The next item I have is the Touch and Soul No Problem Primer, and this is going with me on my trip, so it's gonna look a little wonky in here, but this is where it's at, and this is my best guess, you guys. This thing likes to climb on the walls and stay on the walls, and you can see that here is where it's at here. So I did mark it roughly, I think, in the right spot, but this is what I've used throughout the month. And what I will say about that is that that's not entirely my fault. The markings, I think, are maybe a little bit skewed because it's really hard to figure out where to mark this because you can't get the product to sit flat on the bottom of the thing. So it likes to cling to the walls. When I rolled it in September, it weighed 100 grams. In October, it weighed 96 grams. This month, it weighs 87 grams. I think a lot of that is this contraption, this, container that it's in because it's heavy and it's glass. With that said, I know that that is a primer that I've been through a couple times actually. So I know it doesn't take a lot from this point to get to the bottom. I think at the end of the day, my last one weighed somewhere around 77 grams. So I think that maybe has one more month of use in it and it'll be gone. I think I'll have this gone by the next update. Fingers crossed. The next thing I have in here is this, and this is the Morphe Continuous Prep and Set Mist Plus. This was also rolled in September, and it weighed 109 grams in September. So last month it weighed 98 grams. This month it weighs 84 grams. Just chucking right along, chucking right along. Here's the true tea. Like, I don't hear anything in here when I shake it, but I didn't hear anything in here when I shook it days ago either. So, but I do know that there's a lot left in here. The spray is really nice. It doesn't have like an awful scent. I like using it, but I don't use setting spray very much anymore. I used to be a setting spray connoisseur, but I don't use setting spray very much anymore. So I'm having a hard time getting it used up, but I'm sure it will be gone by the end of the year, which makes me super excited. Now for the three last products, which are the Empties. I'm so excited. These were all rolled in. Well, this one was rolled in September. This is the Pat McGrath Lust Lip Gloss, and it is in the shade Flesh Fantasy. And it weighed 16 grams when we rolled it in, and it was pretty full. Last month it weighed 14 grams, and this month it is empty. I did take out the stopper. I did dig out as much as I could also with my spatula, and I just made sure that this was with me every single place I went and was able to finish it up. I think I finished it up in like mid-October-ish. So really happy to have another lip gloss out. I also had the Purelisse Perfect Glow BB cream that counts against me in my foundation collection. So I thought I'd roll it into here. It was something I had never used before. This I rolled in last month, and it had 11 grams of product in it. And it was completely full, and it still had the little sticker on the end. I hadn't even opened it up, but this is a deluxe size. So it didn't surprise me. As a matter of fact, I rolled it in for the purpose of finishing it by this update so I could roll in the next one so I could also finish it, because that makes up the 4 foundation empties that I have for the year. I liked this fine. It was great, but what I would say is I don't know if this comes in other colors, but this was very, very dark for me. And that seems odd saying because it is a BB cream that doesn't have a shade on here. So, oh, it does say a shade. It's medium tan. So I liked it. It was perfect. It was beautiful on my skin, but it was just too dark for me. So I think I would get, obviously this is a deluxe size, so this wasn't something I picked out. I probably got it in gratis. I wouldn't choose medium tan for myself. I would probably get like a fair light or a light medium, but this was way too dark for me. But with that said, it was beautiful on the skin. I would repurchase this in a bigger size for sure. I loved it. And then the next one that is also empty, the next and last one that is also empty is the Stila Glitter and Glow in Smoldering Satin. And this I rolled in last month as well. You know, honestly, I had said in that moment that I had thought I used this quite a bit, and I had used it quite a bit. I did take out the stopper in here. As you guys can see, it is empty. This is very dry. I mean, I can get some on my skin still, but it is very, very dry and flaky and flakes off. I can't handle these kind of things, so I'm trying to bust through them. When those kind of things are on my eyes, I have to take my makeup off a lot sooner than I like to take off my makeup during the day, right? You all have been around for a while. You know that I have pretty long days and I like my makeup to last that whole time. But I even got some Duraline and put it in here, and it still only lasted a couple more days after that. I just wanted to make sure that this got its use and became gone in my collection. So these 3 guys are empty. Rolling in to replace those guys, I do have 3 new products. I have the Purelisse Radiant Glow Illuminating BB SPF 30, and this one is in the shade Light Medium. So I believe this one is Perfect Glow and this one is Radiant Glow. So I think this is maybe more highlighty than the other one is. That is what this looks like. And it is brand new, just like the last one. It still has the little stopper on it. I have no doubt in my mind I will be done with this. Sorry about the lighting, you guys. No doubt in my mind that this one will be gone by next update. To replace the Pat McGrath lip gloss, I'm going to go with a lip gloss that isn't in a tube this time. It's in a tube. It's just in a lipstick tube. This is the Makeup by Mario, like lip glow gloss, whatever it's called. And it is in the shade Mauve Glow. I'm not going to push it up because if you know, you know. You can't get it back down once you've got it up. It's kind of a plumping gloss, but it's not a plumping gloss that drives my throat nuts like the the Too Faced one did. So this one weighs in at 12 grams, and we will need to continue to weigh it because we won't be able to see progress on it. And then this is actually also a Makeup by Mario product that I ended up having to put in here because my contraption broke, and you guys will see that in the makeup empties because the contraption's in there just to hang out in there. But the Makeup by Mario sculpt stick broke. My contraption broke. So I had to put the product into another component. So it's in this like Becca component, but this is it. And I want to see if I can completely empty this as well. It's not super thick. So I do think that, I mean, the possibility is potentially there. Those are my 3 new roll-ins and all of my rollouts and everything that we still have sitting here. And that's it. That's all I got for Project Pan. You can hear all the dogs in my neighborhood barking. It is Halloween. I'm sure the kids are starting to trick or treat. I need to go. So with that said, I love you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed my Project Pan update. If you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Please don't forget to hit me up in the comment section. I love you guys so much and love our conversations. I hope that you guys are having an awesome day. I hope that you all are safe and healthy and getting along as well as you can in this crazy world. And I hope that you are all loving each other, but loving each other from afar. Thank you so much for joining me today. Have an awesome day. I'll see you next time. Bye, friends.